Hey, actually, hold on a second. Okay, welcome to episode 211. And, oh, hold on a second. Actually, I need to go back here. Oh, I already got 5 people on here already. Nice, very nice. Uh, thanks. Um, okay, so, just a second. Okay, that's what's going on. I won't stay on webcam for very long, I promise. Okay, so last week or last couple weeks or whatever, I got everything down to 20 pages or 20. I guess you don't call them story beats because these aren't individual story beats now. They're collections, like scenes, and I'm labeling them as chapters. Chapters might even persist when when I actually get to the graphical stage and everything. But so I'm gonna be doing kind of what I did before, right? Where I have two pages that I'll be adding decision points to, kind of like what I was doing. But the difference here is I'm only going to be splitting at most a page twice, or yeah, twice for three, and I don't even think necessarily I'm going to have any of them split twice. I'm going to at least split them once. Okay, so at the end I'll have um, I should say I'll have more than 40. There'll be actually quite a bit more pages than 40, but it's just where the split is, anyways. So yeah, so I sort of restarted and I had to get everything prepared, and now everything's prepared. And let's go ahead and switch to desktop because I just want to get into this. Now, of course, this is still going to be some of the same boring stuff, but I'm gonna somehow. Oh, maybe I should start my replay buffer too. Okay, so that I can record some stuff. I might eschew the whole recording what I did that day, the progress I made. I may or may not do that. Not that it matters to you that much, but because I want my devlogs to actually be a little bit different, and I'm not really sure. I still isn't really sure how to go about it. Some of the guys talk about actually writing a script. I'm like, writing a script. I'm developing my game, so I don't have a predefined script. I might have my next steps, and I might be able to afterwards be able to um, construct something after the fact, and then do a narration over the clips. Maybe that's how I should do it. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. We need to get right into this here, and I realize that I still don't have any like visual footage that you can see yet. I did start Blender 4.4. I know we're at 5. I do have 4.5 that I wasn't using. I've used it once or twice, and I'm already using this, and I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. I'll probably switch to 5. I don't know whenever. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Maybe not for a while. I don't really know. This will do for a little while, and then at some point I'll switch to Blender 5. I'm putting this up here because I'm going to try some visual brainstorming type of stuff. In fact, really, I should have set up my drawing tablet and everything, and they didn't really do that either. Um, but considering that I'm not doing like a proper sketching or drawing here at this time right now, um, yeah, I'm not sure. I should probably. I'm not going to do this today. I don't know. I don't know when I'll do it, but I'm going to start by I'm going to start making to-do list. Like I tried that originally, and I just ended up like not using it and just like working on whatever I wanted to work on. But if I can get into the habit of doing it like a to-do list for the day for the stream, and then then I can see what I accomplished and stuff, and then if I can, I don't know, if I can record timestamps of times I started recording. I don't know if I need timestamps, but anyways, to try to make like devlogs more interesting. But anyways, let me go back to Redot. Okay, so attempt. Okay, so it's for one thing. Today, I don't know if I'll be able to get through one thing. I might not, and I'm not gonna count ones where I use already use existing like story deals. Because I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna find a place, and when I get to a when I decide where my splitting point is, I'm gonna go back to my old stuff and see if there's any I can just kind of fish out and just use them directly, and then I'll copy them in, and we'll do some rigmarole there, and we'll see what happens. So now that I'm setting these up as chapters, see, look, there's farm. You know, each of these is like these used to be the particular story beats or particular pages, right? Hubert walks around his home, large crystal ball, convenience store, etc. Um, Now this is one probably that can be split up into three, I think. I'm going to do that in just a second. Um, okay, so let me look at something here. Okay, who's lab? Who's lab? What's lab? Okay, so should be way quicker getting these done. I'm not going to count uh, existing. Well, maybe I should. Anyways, all I was gonna say is get to one thing a day, one deal a day. So, um, in other words, chapter one, get through chapter one today, basically. And if I can do one a day, that means that 20 days I'll be working about 4 weeks. It'll be about a month. That I'll get through. Uh, that'll get through all these. So keep your fingers crossed that I get to do that. That I can do that. Okay, so let me read this out and let me decide. And I'm also going to try not to do AI as much, maybe, because maybe I'm relying too heavily on AI. Okay, so chapter one: Hubert goes for help. Hubert walks around his home, examining spellbooks, scrolls, and loose papers to figure out the best course of action. Goes to a large crystal ball, which allows him to see into different realms, and he searches for someone to help. Hubert then spots John and pulls up info about him, and then sees him enter a convenience store to grab a Benny Wonky bar. Hubert puts a silver ticket into a magic mailbox on his desk, which magically appears inside the wrapper. Okay, so then we have In Our Realm, also called Cerulean by Enchanted Landians. John is leaving work and walking home down the street and stops at a store nearby and gets his favorite candy bar with a silver ticket inside. John looks at the silver ticket, says some words in fine print, and a portal opens. John steps through the portal as it closes behind him. Okay. John steps in what looks to be a train cabin when he sees a beautiful young woman sitting near the front. This beautiful woman is grabbed by a short, fat little man as a train cabin starts tumbling, causing John to fall. John awakens in a forest without leaves as Hubert walks over and introduces himself. Hubert tells John that he brought him here to help him find out why Enchanted Lands has been shut down. I say closed, has closed. Hubert mentions that it's a good thing that he fell near the edge of Lapswood since it makes you forget things. Hubert and John start walking out of the leafless forest. Okay. Um, Now let me go check real quick. And I can kind of just do this by looking at it. We got Hubert goes to help. We got the twin brothers. Hubert goes to school. Could call it Hubert and John go to school, but Hubert goes to school. Okay, that's in chapter 3. So chapter 1. Okay, so chapter 1 is really all about um uh that makes sense here. Is about how he goes through and he gets help basically. So okay, so this is going to be the kind of the tricky part. I'm not doing this from scratch. So what I might would have had before is I had a bunch of stuff in here, and I had a bunch of stuff in here. It was actually drastically changed, and then I had some stuff before here. Uh, but in this case, I'm trying to make sure that I don't have as many things to do, I guess is the right word. Um, okay, let me think. Let me think. Because I can use the existing. Let me think for a second. Um, John steps into what looks to be a train cabin. Okay, so I can actually divide these. In fact, let's just do it visually, and it'll save in the room when I save it. But let's just do that. Okay, let's go ahead and save room data. Right. Um, and then we'll open this back up, and we'll say, okay, this is where we're going to insert a couple of things here. So really, this is going to stay like this, and that's I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit like I want to go in and I want to go ahead and change all these and put all the stuff back in and because I had all the stuff about the two ways to get the ticket to him, and then what John does, the different ways because he's going home and he's at one point he's at the library and another point he's past the library and all that stuff, but my mind wants to go just copy it in there and it'll work. And but I don't exactly want to do that. So, but what I do want to do is, um, let's see, should I open the older? I wonder. Okay, so I wonder if I should open the other project. I wonder if Redot would let me open two separate projects. Maybe. I'm not sure. Let me think for a second. Because I'm gonna have to go in. I'm gonna have to check the names, all the names. I'm gonna have to find out. Okay, what do I want to copy over? Which rooms do I want to copy over? And so on and so forth. Um, let me think. Let me think. Okay, let's see. Um, I don't think I can do it. I mean, I could. I guess I could try it. Let's go to favorites. Let's see if I can run a separate instance here. It'll just pop up. Oh, looks like I can do a separate instance, can't I? Very nice. I have to remember um, which one um, which one I'm working with. Tool. And let's pull this back up. All right. So what we want to do is we want okay. I have to examine the old one first. Okay. So we're gonna actually go all the way back up to. I mean, look at all the stuff that I did there. Um, Here it goes to the home. Right. Hubert home, right? This is Hubert home. This is also part of Hubert home, is it not? 8, 3 magic cats, etc. and so forth. A lot of work. That seems like a natural split, but it's not really a natural split. I mean, how do I say that? Let me go back to this for a second. Okay, so the problem here is, um, the problem here is going from here to stepping through the portal and then stepping into the train cabin. There's nothing to do here. I mean, there's nothing. That doesn't mean I can't add choices. That's what I did. I added choices, but what I did here is this was one page and this was one page, right? And so I could split up this page into multiple pages, and then I split this into multiple pages, and then split this stuff here into multiple pages, and but there's not a logical from here to here because this is just they're just one thing here. You know, unless I was like interspersing a different, completely different story beat in there, which I did on some of that. But as far as this goes, from where to where and where to where, um, I have to think about that some more because it really what you're talking about is you're talking about me just going ahead and um, just copying stuff over, and in reality, I want to let's think about this for a second. That yeah, that's okay. Like I can't put I can't put interesting choices in between there, right? Even if I split this up, even if I split these up into two like this, to have something in between there, um, this is already finished. In other words, this is gonna be harder than I thought because what I want to do is I want to limit the amount of pages that I actually have, right? I don't necessarily want to limit the amount of choices there, but instead of instead of having like 20 pages here, 20 pages here, 20 pages here, and 20 pages here, I might want 20 pages only, and I want it split in some place. So that is sort of throwing me a little bit. See, it's like four pages in each deal. So 20 times 4 is about 100, which is what I had originally. I mean, if you look at it logically, I'd end up having those 100 pages, um, when really I should only be. In other words, I should have only 3 pages here instead of, you know, like 8 or whatever, right? I mean, it takes some lateral thinking, I guess. Here, let me think. See, it was up to 6. Now I'm down to 3 viewers, which is because it's boring. I think me sit here and just like whatever doodle here is kind of boring. So let me think about this, and you'll have more of me sitting here like doing nothing, uh, if I'm not using the AI because I'm not bouncing ideas off of something or somebody. And the reason I'm not doing any brainstorming right now is because I still have to think about organization here. I have to think about what goes where and how and all that stuff here. Um, so the question is, how do I divide this up where I'm not doing the exact same work I was doing before, right? Where I'm just doing the one thing. Does that mean I have to completely like um, maybe I have to reduce all of these to like a single action or a single sentence and then work from there because I don't want so you want a problem and you want solution. Basically it's problem solution, right? The problem here is how does he get a ticket to John? The solution is he uses the magic mailbox. And in my other case was that I actually added extra thing to add interesting choices into the mix. Now we want less choices here because we only want it at a certain point. Like I could do you know three spots here. That makes us five instead of making it you know whatever, making it eight. You know, it'd be like eight. This would be like 8 pages worth, 8 deals worth. Not the actual total pages that are in the scene. Huh. Well, this is tougher than I thought. Uh, Trying to make everything simplified and short. Um, it's still a lot of work, right? Problem solution, problem solution, problem solution. Maybe I'll have to go back to the AI. I know some of you guys don't really like it when I do that. Of course, there's only 3 of you in here, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. I don't know. I don't know if it matters a lot or if it matters only a little bit. Um, and so far, I'm just spinning my reels right now. Um, hmm. I mean, I guess I could get into a chat somewhere and uh, I don't know, people that have to be chatting for me to be able to chat with them, and they'll have to want to chat with me, which isn't usually what happens. Game designers is cool, but any other channel don't really care about what I'm doing, which is fine. That you don't have to care about what I'm doing. It's just to be of any to chat with somebody to be of any use, you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. It's gonna be a lot uh, like I said before. I'm gonna go ahead and use Chat GPT. I think. Um, and we'll see something here. Game summary update. Um, let's see. Um, can I get you to access a specific conversation we had in a different conversation? Nope, I can't load. Uh, Well, these combos get pretty long. Okay, fine. Then, can you summarize what my game is about and what I'm working on in a couple of paragraphs? Let's see here. Multiple development phases, blends. Cursed Unicorn Knight, Black Knight, Huntsum, Max, the Realm, Conquered Villain, building a multiple super machine, and Xander the Great, biggest magician turned Enchanted Lands, con artist, and the Demon Crow. Mixes mischief and parallel realms. Each character has their own subplot, intersects with the main journey in design. Right now, you're rebooted this phase, condense roughly 93 pages down to more manageable set of chapter-like locations. Your focus is on organizing, splitting sections, refining elements like player choices. Oh, actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Okay, thanks. Let's start a new conversation. Okay, let's go to a new chat here. I'm filling a game, and here's a summary from the last conversation. Sure. Okay. Oh, gee, this look, you just held a flashlight. Okay. Fully animated 2D, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025. At about 12 noon Eastern US time. Please only offer advice and suggestions when I ask for them. We want to keep this conversation tight. Where possible, be as succinct and brief as possible. And thank you. Got it, time noted. Okay, because it wants to keep. Do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? And I get tired of doing that. Anyways. Okay, so I've got it to 20 chapters exactly right now. So now I'm trying to figure out where to divide them, because my goal is to only split each chapter at most in two places. That is 3 sections. And usually probably only one place for two sections. Keeping in mind that I will definitely have a lot more pages than just 2 or 3 or whatever. Please acknowledge. I did the please acknowledge thing so because I wanted to not really acknowledge. You have 20 chapters. Okay. Okay, so before I show you chapter 1, I want to explain that since I regrouped these, there doesn't seem to be any real spots. Actually, let's move my thing here so I can type here. There doesn't seem to be any real spots that I can add decisions to, because the way it's structured, let's see, they're complete, and normally the decision points would be in the middle of those. If I did that, then I would be using the same stuff I did before and doing just as much work. So I have to figure out how to restructure the chapter page to where I only have 1 or 2 decision point spots. They can have their own decision points after the initial split, but we're just talking about trying to split a single page or a chapter into at most 3 segments. Please acknowledge. Each chapter's main page restructure so it naturally creates 1 to 2 clean decision point splits without recreating all the old complexity. Naturally supports 1 to 2 major decision split points without recreating all the minute. I prefer this response. Okay. I also, in a sense, don't want to I also don't really want you doing all 20 chapters. I would like to come up with a process that enables me to do it on my own, so I'm not relying on you as much. Understood? Right. Because I mean, it could do it. I could tell it to do it, and it would find a place to do it. But this is still my game, so I'm still trying to do this myself. Right? Again, it's just a tool. Okay. Let's go ahead and actually cut this out here. Do this. We'll save it. We'll just save the room data again. And then we'll close up, select all, copy. Okay, so please analyze chapter 1 here, and then give me your thoughts on it. Yes. A straight line intro, 3 beats. Here it's set up. John's pickup. The meeting and laps would flow. The transitions are clean and chronological. Each mini beat is self-contained, so the chapter reads like a single continuous row with no natural forks baked in. It should import texture. Everything is outcome locked. Nothing John or Hubert does has a branching implication in the current form. That's why it feels complete and doesn't expose natural places to divide. Why don't you can now tell me how you'd like to split this split? POV splits, event based. Um, and actually, it's funny because it says 3 beats, even though I had it in 4 pages. Those two lines were in its own page, which is fine. Um, okay. Does it look like I need to recombine or reorder or whatever uh, in order to create a split anywhere? I keep thinking that if I took those 3 beats and then split them into into 6 beats, that it's essentially recreating um, what I did originally that was taking too long. How do I work that? I just give some general suggestions or whatever. If you can search the internet about story design and even choose your own adventures and even any text graphic adventure games of the past, that would be helpful. Okay, let's see what it says. I'm still using this as a tool. There are lessons from interactive may help you reshape your chapters so splitting becomes more natural without exploding the workload. Here are some general strategies. Use a core plot backbone plus optional detours, type branching diamond method. Have a fixed sequence of must-happen events, but sprinkle in optional side scenes or small branches for flavor choices. Limit decision points, key moments rather than every beat. Too many forks early leads to combinatorial explosion, tons of unused paths. Rough process for restructuring a two-linear chapter. Identify must-have beats. List every event or scene in the chapter that has to happen, or strongly should, for the story to make sense. Mark potential detour spots within or between those beats. Highlight places where you could add a small decision. Do you inspect the crystal ball more carefully or skip to the searching step? Do you peek around the convenience store or go straight for the candy bar? These don't change major plot, but add player feel. Decide on type of choices. Choose between flavor branch, impact branch. Okay, right. Sketch minimal flowchart. Up to see how many pages you need, where mergers happen. Structure anchored. Make sure no matter the choices, critical narrative beats still occur. Side branches should reconverge. with supplies to your chapter 1. Looking at your chapter structure, there are possible detour spots. When Hubert is browsing, maybe let the player decide what scrolls he picks. John's storyline have a choice at the store. Maybe John hesitates, inspects the wrapper versus grabs quickly. These choices don't alter main outcomes. He still arrives, but give the illusion of agency. Break up linear fill. Either small after either small choice, story converges again. Yeah, I'll have to keep draft mini template split ready. Um, I'm still thinking here. I'm still thinking here. Let's see. You don't need to draft anything just yet. Um, let me think for a moment. Mm-hmm. Uh, so here's the thing. In the old version, I have several split points in beat 1. In fact, I even came up with 2 different methods to get the ticket to John. And then on John's side, I created 2 different paths that lead to the same thing. I did a sort of difference in times. So like in the old version, okay. So I don't know if you have this in your memory or what, but the lizard Hubert has only half of his magic, which almost literally manifests in halfway outcomes. You teleport something, he teleports something, and it only goes part way. And it's only maybe luck that it might end up being the second half kind of situation. He tries to make 2 of something, then only 1 shows up. That sort of thing. Okay. So I had him either send through the magic mailbox or try to use magic, which he had to double up. Had to use multiple spells to sort of get the same outcome. Okay. I also had split it where in the first half he's choosing who he wants to bring in. When it came to the second beat, he was either coming to the store directly, uh, or I had him still working in the library and then start heading home to one facilitate one or the other method we were used to get the ticket to him. Um, so as you can see, that's a lot of information and pages. Doesn't really lend itself to a single or double split, does it? Okay, actually compressed. Kind of branches in here combinatorial. Um, require merging outcomes, essentially what you did in phase one of reboot. So yeah, so all the micro branching baked in. The chapter is naturally resistant to simple 1 to 2 split design to make it work. Abstract converged branches keep the flavor of choice, but let the multiple options lead to a single canonical page instead of a fully separate branches. Um, okay. Let me consider again, just a moment. What interleaved? What's it? LE interleaved. Oh, because it's like leaves. Okay. What if I interleaved those first two, since they're ostensibly part of the same beat, that is getting a ticket to John so he can join Hubert in Enchanted lands. Then maybe um, I can put a split in between them. In between them. Maybe that would work. And that's actually not exactly what I'm saying, but it is what I'm saying too. All right, let me look at it again here. So there, okay, so there's one thing that I could do to consolidate that right away. I'm just thinking here, and that is the choosing part. I can leave off the choosing part. I don't know, maybe that's what I'll have to do here. Let's see some here. Well, essentially, we're just consolidating this, right? He searches for someone to help. He finds John. That doesn't have to be a choice. At least not in this phase. In the later phases, I can go back and re-split it. I don't have a problem re-splitting it later. The idea here is to do this short enough to where I can get the whole story done, and have something out there. Like I'll put it on itch.io maybe or something. Once phase one is done, once phase one is ready to actually interact with. Let's see. It's like, okay, so like I don't have a problem having. I mean, this is two splits. It's this. Um, well, this and this. These would actually be combined. So this would actually be one. If I could combine it into a story beat, right? And then actually, that's an interesting thought too. Um, okay, there's a couple of things I could do as well. I'm looking over the text. Um, so essentially, so the first thing, the important part is giving the ticket to John. So that means I leave off the stuff where Hubert was actually choosing John, because that's sort of superfluous to the story. That is, John is ultimately being picked, and I don't need to add extra stuff. That is until later phases when I'm re-expanding it out. I don't know if re-expanding is a word, but um, a second thing is their meeting within Enchanted lands. That's not inherently choice driven. It's just an event that happens. The result of getting him in there. I did actually split that one up too because I wanted some interesting decision points. But since I'm streamlining, I should only do the important stuff. Makes sense. By cutting the pre-choice selection of John and streamlining the Enchanted Lands meeting, you focus only on the core beats. Hubert sends the ticket, John receives it and arrives. They meet in Lapswood. Everything else becomes optional flavor in future expansion. So in a sense, can be compressed from 3 to 2. That is, Hubert picks John and sends him the ticket. And decides how to send the ticket. One, Hubert picks John, and 2, John sees it, opens the portal, and meets Hubert in Enchanted. Oops. So it's still into 2 main beats. Hubert acts, sends a ticket to John. John reacts, receives the ticket, goes to the portal, meets Hubert. So, problem. How to get the ticket to John, and solution. So problem, how to get John into and lands. Solution, send John a ticket to allow him to open a portal to Enchanted. So I guess I should make sure with each chapter to set it up as a problem solution thing. Gives you a clear casual arc would need to happen, natural way to split beat, set up problem versus resolution solution. Built-in guidance for where decision points can live, usually in the problem phase or in the optional flavor moments during the solution. Send the ticket and have them arrives. I can still choose the 2 methods. On John's side, however, he would just be receiving the ticket. So I instead of having 2 paths to getting the ticket. Well, maybe I wouldn't do that because the 2 paths John uses are based on the two methods. So I might leave that in as the decision point, and in fact can reuse my old pages in that way. Reserve the half magic dual method flavor. Okay, with that in mind, we have now the ability, and I guess again, this is taking longer than it should. It's not. I mean, it's not really. It is kind of like I'm gonna get this part done. I'm gonna split them into 2 and stuff. Actually, I might get the whole. I don't know, 30 minutes. I don't know if I have enough time in 30 minutes to actually get it completely done today. But so it might take 2 days. I don't know. Even if it takes 2 days, that's okay. But I'd be preferring one per day, one chapter, essentially one chapter per day, right? But if I do it this ways, yeah, I can. Yeah. Okay, so I guess let's do it here. Um, the first thing I'm gonna do here though is, okay, so this will be part of chapter one, basically. Let's zoom out a little bit. We are gonna be adding. We're gonna be adding one page in here. Um, chapter one, Hubert goes for help. Chapter two, um, the silver ticket. Okay, so I wonder something though. Okay, uh, do you have suggestions for naming the pages? Because clearly these are all happening in chapter one. Um, so do I just do I put like that means I have to change the names to each of the names. I mean, I could do that. Chapter one A or something. Chapter one I or what? They're not individual chapters. They're the same chapter, but different subheadings. Organization choice. So pick a system that easy to parse at a glance and work through your chapter 1A. Roman numerals. Decimal system. Subpages. Name subpage. Chapter 1. Total arrival. Sending the ticket. Personally, for a mix of brevity and clarity later, 1A, 1B, 1.1, 1.2. Can I use a hyphen in the file name? I'm using Linux right now, but it can be ported to other platforms. As long as you avoid spaces. You avoid spaces. Use underscores or hyphens. You don't use characters like problematic on Windows. If you ever call file from scripts, hyphens are fine. Just be careful with commands. Close file name to cooked if needed. Oh, okay. So what hold on a second here. What I actually the ID is the file name, right? So okay, so let me check the let me check this here. The ID here is 001. Here it goes for help. Okay. The label is chapter 1. Let me think. Let me think. Okay. Currently, I'm using my 3-digit number for the ID slash file name, whereas before it was just location index. Now it's just chapter index. So chapter 1, Hubert goes for help is 001. Hubert goes for help. .json. Okay. Clean self-contained system uses 3-digit chapter ID 001A. Zero. Okay. Mm. 001A or 001A. It's usually better. The underscore separates the chapter ID plus subpage from the descriptive title. Hmm. Um. Hmm. Let me see here. A favorite. That way it visually breaks it up. Another thing I could do is 001A dash Hubert goes. I'm trying to find a way to make sure the lettered subpages, make sure the letters subpages don't don't look like doesn't look like part of the title. I'll have to check my code to see if I need to, because I was relying on characters. See if it flashes with any file reading. For instance, I was using the first 3 digits to indicate location, and I might have just hard coded that number in. Hmm. Yes. Okay, so well, that's okay. So that's that one. I don't know if I'll get to that, but okay. So let me go to script. Even though I'm not doing any coding today, we're gonna go to script. We're gonna go to the room class first, and set ID. I don't actually do that now, right? Because now they work independently. Okay, so when I set ID, okay, I see export label new room. It just sets the label, original ID, colon string, XXX. Okay, load data. File access. So rooms it's just accessing the whole string, the whole file name, right? Uh, set room property self.id equals ID. Self.original ID equals self.id. I'm not doing the inbound rooms anymore. Self.label equals JSON data label. Description equals description. Okay, doors. Door 2. See, I'm not using substring anymore, I don't think. Destination. That's interesting. Door name. Spec string. That's interesting. Create from JSON, load data from JSON, get door by choice. So I don't even have the deal that I'm not even doing the door specs in here. Is that because that's because door specs is only visual, and so that only applied to the layout, right? So I'm gonna have to go to the layout room here, and let me check out room data, update name label. Where is this called? Go find update name label. my calling update name label. Update name label. I am though. Only when you modify the label. Okay. Retry count. It's inside tree, name label, self.roomdata.label. Update name label. Interesting. Call deferred for the initial IC. Okay. Okay, so that just updates the label on the deal. The actual an update description label does the description label, which is fine. Layout doors get door data. Original ID, previous position, property list, get. So it's just it's getting whenever you're getting uh whatever property it is that I exposed up in here. Whenever I do ID label and description, it actually pulls it from the actual room data itself, and then set actually sets the room data. This doesn't do anything here. Okay, label update name label called deferred update name label. That's where I was already looking, and then this description. I'm trying to see if there's any place where I'm actually like trying to strip out, because I don't think I am now. I don't think I'm doing any kind of stripping of name stuff. New room name equals new room dot room data dot label replace colon with comma. Oh, because I couldn't use colon. I can't use colon in the file name. Um, Chapter 1, Hebert goes for help. Oh, because this is the actual label here, right? This is the text label of chapter 1, colon, but I can't do that I can't use that in the thing, so I had to change that just for that. Okay. So that doesn't really do that has nothing to do with anything. It doesn't have to do with the file name or anything. It doesn't look like I use the file name anywhere. Door.destination.substring4 replace space. Okay, there is something that is specific. Okay, so this handles the three. Okay, there is one place. This is probably the only place I'm using substring though. ID string. Huh. Door to the twin brothers. ID string. Okay. This has to do with... So maybe I should look up everything that says substring in it. I only have 3 places. When we're doing the door name, wait a second. How come... Door to the twin brothers. I mean, how come all these are... Let's see, something's going wrong here. Door spec substring I begins with destination. Okay, that has to do with... Okay, that. Door 2. Dorothy Huber goes to school. How come that is door to the twin brothers underscore? Huh. My time is almost up. See, I knew I wouldn't get dang first thing done today. I mean, at least I guess I have an idea of what I've got to do next, right? Still, ID string door to whom data. Where? Don't understand here. Reload. Save scene. How? It's fixed now. How come? Something. What change? What the heck? Door to the twin brothers. I don't get it. Okay, whatever. Okay, substring. Hmm. You create the idea, you're creating the door string. Uh, destination string. Door create door ident. New door choice. New door destination. Okay, that makes sense. I guess. Okay, control find substring. Door. Door destination substring 4. Replace underscore. Okay. Oh, substring I. If we do this, this should be okay. And there's only two places it does that. When it deals with the door, and then this is actually the name here. All right. Okay, when dealing with doors, I use the grab the destination IDs by starting at 4 characters in. So I'm doing something like copy. So I'm doing this. Which tells it to go past the first 4 digits. Chapter 3-digit numbers and score. If you change file names to include a letter after digits, like we'll grab the string starting at the letter, not the underscore title. So either keep the underscore after the 3 digits. Correctly skips 1, or adjust substring logic to skip 4 characters for a numbered letter. What's the safest? Let's see. I'm only doing it in 2 places. This has to do with figuring out. Yeah. I'll try recoding to use a hyphen as a title delimiter. Yo, 01A. That actually looks a little bit better. Maybe either 01A goes up at JSON, or 01A dash is JSON. The IDs are all strings. Like I said, I only extract the only remove the number for door naming. Visual separation between number and letter for more compact. Okay, thanks. That's all for now. Alright, so that about does it for today's part one. I guess this is like it always was. I was hoping that I'd be changing it up, but I haven't really changed it up that much. I'm doing things a little differently, sort of, but not stream wise. So it's not like you see me doing any new thing here yet. I mean, I gotta work it out. So now I gotta figure it out how to do it correctly, so that I'm not doing the same thing, that I used to do. So so we're going to. I don't know. Maybe I want to. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in part two. Part two, I'm supposed to be working on the layout tool. I might work on the layout tool. Usually, part two would just be for code in general. So I might finish this code part of this stuff, the file names and stuff here, before actually working on the layout tool. Or I might just work on the one thing in the layout tool, which is the save button. So I'm going to add a save button to it, and so that it can save positions. And then I end up working on the edit box, and that's gonna be a whole another thing to do. And I see this big old spider climbing up my wall. Um, I guess nothing I can do about that. Anyways, I say thank you for watching part one, and I'll see you in about an hour. Thank you for watching part one.